Hello, I'm Don Carson, and with me today is Conrad Mbewe. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you.
We've been
Thank
looking
you,
at this
Dan.
for a long time. Let me tell you just a little bit about Conrad so that he doesn't get embarrassed. Conrad is pastor of Kabwata Reformed Baptist Church in Lusaka, Zambia, but at the same time he is president of a small Reformed Baptist Bible college. He writes for a couple of national papers. He blogs. We might talk about some of these things just a little later. But this time, Conrad, if I may, let me ask you some questions first of all. Tell us a little of your family.
I'm married to Felicitas. We've been married for just under 24 years, and God's blessed us with a family of 5. The oldest 2 are foster daughters, and then we have 2 boys, and then finally a girl.
Mm-hmm. And ranging in age from?
The foster daughters, one is 31, she got married last year, another is 25, and then we've got a boy of 22, a boy of 19, and a girl of 17.
Any grandchildren?
Well, the one who got married last year is along the way towards motherhood. So
that's wonderful.
We're praying that God will bless us with a grandchild soon.
Would you mind sharing with us also how you came to faith? Did you come from a Christian family, or did you come from some other background?
Well, let me say I was brought up in a church-going family. Mm-hmm. My mother professed faith in the early 1960s at the Billy Graham crusade. I think Billy Graham must have visited Africa around about that time. But really, when she died, which was, I was 9 years old then, about 1970, 71, we were then fostered by my mom's elder sister. And we continued going to church. But my elder sister got converted first when she then came back to Dad's home when she went to university. And then the following year, I also came to Dad's home to go back to university, and I found her life completely transformed. And that really made me realize that whatever she had, I didn't have. And that got me searching. And finally, the Lord convicted me of my sin and brought me to himself at the beginning of 1979 in my own bedroom. So, of course, it was something that developed over time in my own heart. But that's how I became a Christian.
And your call to ministry, was that very soon after, or was that quite a long time delayed?
I think it was soon after. After my conversion, invariably, then I followed my sister to the church she was going to, and she had been converted at a local Baptist church next to the university. And that's how I ended up being a Baptist. And during the first year of my Christian life, I just sensed this deep desire in my heart to preach God's word. But because I was only a Christian for a year, I thought I was just being ambitious. And I remember really rebuking myself a couple of times for even beginning to think such thoughts. It was, I just thought it wasn't right. However, I think the Lord finally broke that self-chastisement when I began to see myself planting a church in one of the Zambian villages and just immersing myself there to raise the people for God. And I think that appealed to me, and that's how I finally felt, okay, now this is not just me with some grand ambitions. And at that point, I sought counsel, and I remember coming back to my room at university and just saying to the Lord, Lord, you open the door, and I will walk through. It wasn't until another 7 years before the door actually opened for me into full-time pastoral ministry. Between that point and the door opening, I was obviously involved in a lot of Christian work, especially at the university in the Christian Union there, and then also in my own local church when we were planting Kabwata Baptist Church. In fact, I was part of the outreach team, and also in a number of places.
Now, Kabwata Baptist Church is itself, through your ministry, overseeing planting a number of others, isn't it? About 10 churches or so in Zambia and Botswana, is that correct?
It's actually more than 20.
It's
so
now 20.
Yes, I often joke with people that I stopped counting at 10. So, yeah, but more recently I took a bit of time to just look at the figures afresh. Yeah, we've planted a number of churches within the country. We've also planted a number of churches in the neighboring countries.
Not only Botswana.
No.
What else?
There's Namibia and Malawi and then Botswana. So we've got at least 3 countries. And then we're presently working towards planting a church in Ethiopia, in Addis Ababa.
So that'll be the first time you don't have somebody on your border. The other countries are all border countries, aren't they?
Yes. We've been helping a certain denomination to train their church planters, but the denominational leadership finally said to us, you see, unless you have a model church here, we still can't quite visualize what this is all about.
Right.
So we're presently praying that the Lord will give us a missionary whom we can send there.
Who would have to learn Amharic, presumably.
Yes. Well, thankfully, we've been sending brothers there in pairs to do the work, and a number of them have begun to develop genuine interest in the people there, and consequently in their language.
In the language, of course.